Now let's take a look at question 18. It says, Gage High School organized a lip sync contest to raise money for new equipment in the weight room. The successful event brought in $9,702. The pie chart below shows the amount collected at the various booths. So we have drinks, food, entry fees, and t-shirts. Question here, question A, find the sum of the money collected from entry fees. All right, so since here we have the angle of 90 degrees, 90 degrees is half of 180, or a quarter of 360. This means that the entry fees amount to a quarter of the money raised. Okay, so here I noted 360 degrees is a full circle, 180 is a half circle, 90 degrees is a quarter circle. So, and they told us there is a 90 degree there for the pie that represents the entry fees. So that means the area here is a quarter of the entire circle. So a quarter of 9,702 times of translates into times. So times 9,702. Put it in the calculator. I got $2,425.50. Okay, next question. What percentage of the total money was earned selling t-shirts? Okay, so what percentage was earned selling t-shirts? Okay, so we could go a few different routes here. We could convert these amounts into percentages of a whole first. And for the entry fees, well, we have the amount as well, but since it's a quarter of 100% is 25%, and we could do 100 minus 25 minus whatever percentage we find here, and minus the percentages for drinks. So that's one way of doing it, but that would take us a longer. What I would do, I would first add up all the other amounts, and we found for the entry fees that was $24.25.50. So I'm gonna, so for the t-shirts altogether, we know the amount was 9,702. So I'm gonna add all of these together, and I'm gonna use my variable T for t-shirts, right? Remember, we said the variable is what they're asking us to find. So they want us to find the percentage of t-shirts. So the amount of t-shirts is gonna be variable T. Okay, so T plus whatever we have for gathered from selling drinks, plus whatever we gathered from selling food, plus whatever we gathered from entry fees, should amount altogether to $9,702. Okay, so let's solve this equation. First, we're gonna simplify it. So I'm gonna add all of these values. And they amount to $7,761.60. Okay, and that altogether equals to 9,702. So now in order to solve for t, I need to subtract this amount on both sides. And that gives me a t equals $1,940.40. But notice that we haven't answered the question yet. We just found the amount raised by selling t-shirts. But the question was, what percentage of the total money was earned selling t-shirts? So let's continue. In order to answer that question, I'm gonna set up my ratio again. So remember, we have the percentage. So percentage of t-shirt, which is unknown, which is what we're looking for, over 100. And here we have amount divided by the whole. So the whole there was 9,702, and the amount that amounts to t-shirts was 1,940.4. Okay, so now cross solving by cross multiplying, I'm gonna get 1940.40 times 100% gives me 9702 times t percent. Okay, so I have 1940.40% equals 9702 times t percent. So I'll find t percent by dividing out 9702 here. Let's do that. 1940 divided by 9702, and I get 20. So t is 20%. T amounts to 20%. And that answers my question. What percent of the total money was earned selling t-shirts? So again, if I had enough room, I would write the percentage of the total money earned by selling t-shirts amount to 20% of the total sales or the total money raised. Okay, and the last, no, not the last yet, but the next question is, what fraction of the money was earned selling food? What fraction of the money? So again, we could do use percentages or the actual amount. It doesn't matter. So for food, though, we have amount, we haven't converted that amount into percentages. So it would probably be easier to take the amount. So I have 3880.80. I'm gonna divide by the total, which is 9702. And here's the thing, I could go ahead and find common factors and simplify everything and come up with a fraction, but that's what the calculators are for. I'm gonna put it into my calculator, push enter, and it's gonna give me a decimal. But since they asked me about the fraction, what fraction, decimal is a fraction, but I have a feeling that they want me to enter the actual fraction. So what you can do with on this calculator, you can push this button F to D. So it's fraction to decimal or and back. So push that button and enter, and it will convert your fraction into, I mean, your decimal into a fraction. So 0.4 is 2/5, and that's the fraction that we're going to write down. Okay, that's it for that question. Next question, what percentage of the money was earned selling drinks? Okay, so drinks was $1,455 dollars and 30 cents. So let's actually let's set up our ratio again. So we have what percentage, that's what they're asking. That's going to be my X. So it goes here. We have 100% on the bottom. Now here we have amount and the whole, right? So the whole was 9702. That's amount of the whole amount of dollars raised. And now which amount came from selling drinks? Well, that was 1455.30. All right, so I have my ratio or my proportion. Now I can solve it again by the usual method. So 9702 times X equals 55.30 times 100%. So I have 9702X equals whatever that is, 145,000 and 530. Now I'm gonna divide both sides by the coefficient in front of the X. That will give me X equals 15. And that's percent, right? Because the question is what percentage of money was earned selling drinks, and that's 15%. Okay, so that's it for question 18.